Let's talk about blood, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the possible blood they can be. Let's talk about blood. Everyone, welcome back to Gorgeous Griff. My name's Griff. I hope you're all doing well. What we're going to do today is make some blood. Oh, so what I've got is some Kryolan Blood Powder, and this little jar of, I think it's 100 grams, is fantastic. You can make any type of blood with this, and all you need is this and a couple of other little ingredients. What we're going to do first is make some thick blood. So I've got a little jar here, and I've just put some Vaseline in it. So, and I'm just going to get some stirring sticks. So you're going to do is get your popsicle stick and the powder. First, you want to put some gloves on because this is very messy. So pop your gloves on. Once you put your gloves on, if my fat fingers can fit in them. Oh, it's because I've got my rings on. Alright, so gloves on, and you want about this much, just a thumbnail full of blood powder. So get your blood powder, and probably about that much, and pop it into your container full of Vaseline, and fold in the powder with the Vaseline. It should turn into blood. Good old mix together. You've got that blood group there. Good old mix. And you can always add more to it. And this makes a nice wound filler for any type of wound that you want, and you don't want it to move because it's still quite thick. There we have some blood paste. It's a bit chunky, but it's a great wound filler to use. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the exact same technique but using a little bit of water bottle here. As you can see, I've got the water to there. Just twist it, and I've got a little funnel to put into the water. So with the blood powder, the more water that you have in it, the lighter it will be. So I've only put a little bit in this one. See it turning already. You're going to try and funnel that in as much as you can, and this will make a nice fresh blood. Great for scratches or instant wounds. This is not going in as well as I thought it would do. So now that's added, you can see it mounted here. So drop off the excess and then put the cap back on. A shake, just to stir that all in and get it all sorted. And there we have a tiny bit of fresh blood, and then see what it looks like. So I'll use the back of my wrist here and just put a drop on, and you can see how fresh that looks, and that looks like a very fresh wound. Maybe you can use it for like a nosebleed or a cat scratch or anything like that you can use it for. It's really, really nice to use. I've got a spray bottle here, and the water is up to here on this one, and you can make this to a nice little spray blood. I mean, the only problem that I would have with the Kryolan blood powder is that it stains. It does stain the skin. Put a little bit of soap and water and it comes off, but it just generally stains, which isn't great. So now I've got my little funnel, and now I can just pour in that powder into that funnel. See the water changing. Alright, I've only put a couple of little drips in that now. I'm going to put the lid back on. Give that a little shake. Gives you a nice little light, so you can see the difference between the darker one that we made and the one with more water in it. It's very light, which is awesome. And you can use this for pretty much anything. If your character is sweating blood, or has got a cut on the head and you need to spray it to give it that sweat beaded look to it. And now the last one that I'm going to do is using a little bit of Vaseline into another little jar. And pour that straight in, probably about half and half. And this will make a great wound filler. And then pour in you got it, the blood. I'm going to do a big chunk of blood, 2 big powders. And then get your small stirring stick, stir that in. Starting to turn, and this makes a nice scab, like a fresh cut or a scab look to it. It will just stick to the skin very nicely. And you can just use the powder on its own. If you put a little bit onto the skin, and you can't really see it on camera when it's on the skin, and using a little bit of glycerin or a little bit of water or anything like that on whatever you're using it on, like a blade or something, you could maybe etch in a name or make a wound like that. It's very quick. So now this is all mixed in. You can see how consistent it is. Just put that on, and literally a little bit goes a very long way. You can tap it in and pretty much paint with it, because once the moisturiser is dried, you'll have the pigment left over. It will take a while for it to dry, and it doesn't move, it doesn't like drip down like the other blood does, or give it a tone. So you've got 3 different colours of the same product. It's just the variance of how much you put into them changes, and what you put into them. As I say, you could probably just use them on their own without anything but a little tub of this. I've only used that much just to make that. Well, I've used a lot more than this to make these, because I've made 5 litres of blood, just fresh watery blood, for a project that I'm doing. And remember, don't be cute, be gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!